Hi, welcome to my space. This is the little space that I have carved out for myself here in Island Falls, Maine. It's my studio and also my magic zone. Um, I wanted to come and share with you an idea that I have and invite you along if you would like to join me. Um, how to begin, right? How to begin? That's always the question. I started on a magical path a long, long time ago. Um, I would say really around 1988, but I found Wicca. We'll start there in 1995. And it was exactly what I needed at the time. Wicca is a magical religion. It is nature based, and there are gods and goddesses and rituals and all the wonderful things, right? And it was, as I said, exactly what I needed at the time. Wicca is strongly, at least it was in the 90s. I know that there have been lots of transformations and shifts and things that are beautiful, but in the 90s, Wicca was very much based on the Celtic Wheel of the Year and seasons that you would see in Europe and the Northeast United States, some of the Midwest, but not where I was. I found Wicca, here it is, the Celtic Wheel of the Year, 4 seasons, and I was in Hawaii. And after that, I was in Texas. And both places are beautiful in their own way, and both places have magic. But I was embedded in a system that was based on the wheel of the year from a completely different climate. So I was always, even though it works, I was able to, theoretically and even in soul journeying, all of that, find my way with these seasons. But I was always kind of cramming myself in, always a little bit cramming myself in. And then I moved to Maine a couple of years ago. And I mean, officially, not a couple of years ago. Officially, I've only been a resident of Maine since December, but I've actually been living up here now for almost 2 years. And the place immediately grabbed me. The environment lit me up. It is like a dream. It is like a fantasy because I spent so many years imagining, right? And now I'm in it. I'm in a climate that is close to many parts of continental Europe, part to Great Britain, and even to some of my ancestral space, which is Scandinavia. And so I'm in this place where all of a sudden my soul and my spirit and the land and my mind are in sync. And it's magic. And so I've decided, as a way of exploring it even more and rooting into the magic of place, then I'm going to take some time. I don't know how long I'll last. I hope forever. Like for the rest of my days, I hope I'm doing this. But for now, I'm happy to see myself start this idea of finding the magic rooted where I am, finding the magic rooted in the land, rooted in me, rooted in the things that I do. Like whether I'm writing a spell, which I do, or reading runes, which I do, or I'm going to a festival with my honey, or I'm making comics, or I'm on a wonderful call with some of you in a mixer and we're making art about something. I want to find my life as magical. And so I'm going to create a book of days, which is something that our ancestors, most of our ancestors probably did. Probably the women did most of it because they were the recorders. And it's going to be, I imagine it as a combination sketch journal, junk journal, scrapbook, art journal, day recorder. Yeah. And I want to invite you to come with me. I don't know where it's going to go, friends. I don't know if it will turn into something where we get on a call together monthly. I don't know. I'm inviting you to do you, to enjoy a practice that is about exploring magic where you are in your real life. Maybe you'll gather folklore from your location. Maybe you'll gather bits and bobs from out in nature. Maybe you'll write down a new recipe. Maybe you'll write down the words of your favorite song. But I'm calling it a book of days, and I'm calling it right now rooting in the magic where we are, right? Or something like that. The magic of rootedness, the magic of the ground we live on, the magic, whatever. And I am personally invoking the Norns. I am a Norse witch. That is my alignment. And the Norns to me are the perfect matrons of a practice that is about magic in the moment, magic in the place. The Old Norse concept of time is very layered, right? They understood that the past is the past feeding the present, feeding the future, feeding the past, right? So to me, a book of days is perfectly aligned with the spinners of weird. To give you an idea of what I'm going to be working with, which might or might not inspire you, I am working big and I'm working not precious. So I found one of these notebooks last year while we were on the road. I found it at Walmart, of all places. It is a mixed media notebook with 120 sheets. So that's 240 full pages of 114-pound paper, which means it can handle water, it can handle glue, it can handle oil pastels, ink, all of it. I have been playing in this one for a year, and I just happened to have an empty one. And so this is the start of my book of days. I'm already covering it. I'm actually covering it with pages from a very old almanac from 1901. And then I'll paint over that. And I do have a first page already. We had a lovely little mixer session this morning, and this is my little piece of art that came from it. Other things that I'm planning that I've been working on, but I haven't put into a book. I am naming my seasons here in Maine based on my own observations. And so right now we're in the green season. We also have stick season, which is something that everybody knows, and mud season, and leaf season. But then there are others woven in. And I'm intending to pay attention to the moons and the names of the moons. So the typical name for this month's full moon is the buck moon, and it's associated with the time when male deers are growing their antlers. Other names up in this area, though, are bird shedding their feathers moon, grass cutting moon, I believe, is another one. And so, where did these come from? I'm interested in all of it right now. And I am excited to start creating what is essentially, like I said, a book of days, a book of shadows, a grimoire, all combined. Anyway, I invite you to join me if you want to, and I'd love to talk to you about it if you do. So, happy Saturday, happy July 6th, happy new moon in Cancer, happy all the things.